have on the back.
What's going on, beautiful people? I'm the Grandmaster, and I also go by D-Ray, bringing you guys a very exciting episode of the Grandmaster's Table. But first, I am joined by my beautiful co-host, Summer. Go ahead and say hi.
Hi.
Guys, it's gonna be... oh boy, I'm gonna take a moment just to silence the music for just a second and give you guys a quick disclaimer. If you are, quote-unquote, a little bit sensitive in regards to some profound language and some things that these guys may say, this may not be the podcast for you, unfortunately, although I would love you guys to listen moving forward, but just giving you guys a heads up so you're not caught off by surprise. These guys can be quite a handful when they get together, in a good way, so just giving you guys that little bit of a tug before we get started. Guys, welcome for the first time all together. Well, for the most part, we're missing a couple pieces, but all together. Welcome the notorious group known as the Goon Docks. Say hi, guys, one at a time.
Oh. I thought we were all just gonna collectively
Okay. Roll call.
My name is Jason. Yeah, I like to be. Yeah. Oh goodness!
All right, so I'll be the
right. Tell us who to introduce one at a time.
We'll go from top from what I see the name. So the first making his return, we have OGALBINA. Go ahead and say hi, my man.
Hello.
And then making his return as well, an encore performance, we have JohnJunior.
I'm so sorry, you guys have to watch this.
And for the third goon that is making their appearance for the second time from their previous episode, we have DyeItTight. Go and say hi, my man.
Hi.
His name is Jason.
No, not in order. Come on.
And so the new ones coming onto the podcast that are still part of the Goon Docks, we have OddsAre. Go and say hi, my man.
Hey, man. How are you guys? I can't talk.
And the second Goon Dock that we have coming on, we have Starfeesh. Go and say hi, my man.
What's going on, guys?
And then last but not least, the very, 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 very colorful personality of ItzWhateva.
7.
He already mentioned me. Who else is colorful?
That's why I yelled 7. Are you talking about whatever?
It's
the PST gang, let's go!
Hey, PST gang, guys! If you guys are excited for this episode, as you guys get a small little preview, do me a massive favor and hit the subscribe button, turn on post notifications, hit the bell button, so you guys get notified every single time we post a new video. And if you guys are just clenching your shorts, you're clenching your drink, you're clenching something, smash that like button to show your support. We really do appreciate it. So, kind of jumping into this little train wreck that we got going on. How you guys doing today? I'll let you guys go all at once. What's going on?
Oh no! I've been mentally preparing myself for this.
I feel personally attacked. I put my shirt on .com.
Oh no!
No, you deserve that ban wholeheartedly, Jay. You deserve that. You deserve that timeout. Don't say anything about that.
Can I just say, that was probably the best intro Brody could have done ever. That was the most Brody intro.
Yeah, that was 100% my intro. Yeah, like me just tripping over my own words.
Out of his mouth, and he said,
The only way it could have been more Brody is if he had like a drill or something while he was doing it.
I won't make random noise for no reason.
Brody, actually, I really want to hear it now.
Brody says, pickles.
So as you guys can tell, the Goon Docks can be a pretty chaotic place where you go on calls pretty often, and this is the typical noise that we hear whenever we hop on these calls, whether it's going to be in the middle of the day or in the middle of the night. This is typically the energy that you were to expect if you were to come on the server. We're a tight-knit group of friends. John, when did you were you the one that was the original creator of the Goon Docks?
Me and Jason.
Yeah, dude.
So what was your guys' idea behind that? Was it just to get us all together and just be chaotic? But what was your initial plan when you guys started the server?
Well, originally we had a group of friends in NCP Season 1 Wi-Fi. It was like me and Owen and Jason took over halfway through, and Kurt and a bunch of other people. And then there was a whole ordeal that happened with that, and I don't want to go too into detail, but we were basically forced out of that server, and we made a new server. Long story
And
short.
now we're here.
Yeah,
And
when
Jay,
and I
did
became
you
best
have
friends-
Say it again?
When John and I became best friends, we were in call all the time with Obo and Brody.
No, hold on. No. Don't even say that's how we became best friends. Dude, Jason literally...
we became best friends, and then after we became best friends, like we were in call all the time.
Okay, well, don't say that's how we became best... No. We became best friends because Jason literally, like, I was walking on the track or I was in class. Jason would FaceTime me, like, 4 times a day, like, during school hours. Like, he would not leave me alone. I could not get away from this guy. So I eventually was just like, okay, you can stay, I guess.
And then we made Goons.
So in your guys' words, Jay, what's your guys' criteria to allow someone to come into the server? What's your guys' checkbox?
Oh shit. I guess don't start. I can't say don't start problems because we all fucking start problems. So I can't I guess at least I guess 4 of us have to like him. I guess 6 maybe. I don't know.
We normally just pass it through everybody, make sure nobody has problems with anybody, but they have to be close to us, as friends. Like how we got you in here. Jay, you want to tell that story?
Yeah, I spammed D-Ray for Goons 12 times, and I was on my best behavior.
3 months of him crying in the general chat about how...
Just to give you guys a little context of what they're talking about, so the Goon Docks, and for as you guys can tell, can be a pretty gnarly place, just from the things that are said, but in a good way. Everything that's said here is, we'll say toxic, but in an amazing way. So when I came into the community... When I came into the community, I was very open to just speaking to everybody, just trying to be as nice to as many people as possible. So these guys would refer to me as being wholesome, to being a good person, and which is why the collective group didn't want me to come into the server, because it would taint me in a way. So Jason wanted to he wanted to basically corrupt me and pull me in. So after lots and lots of resistance from the rest of the goons, they finally gave in, and now I'm here, and now I'm never the same. So thanks guys for that.
Yeah, unfortunately.
No.
Let's Jason whining. That's it. It was just Jay whining about it.
I mean, Jay did beat people in the best of 7.
But he didn't beat everybody.
You beat 3 people.
No.
I beat enough people.
You beat 3.
He said, I worked really hard. Give this to me.
I worked very hard.
And then Owen, so you're making your first appearance back on the Grandmaster's table after being the one that kicked it all off. How have you been? Everything's been good?
Yeah. Just, I didn't go outside. I'm sitting in front of my computer just like I was that night.
Yeah, guys, if you guys missed that episode, I'll leave a link down in the description below. Owen's the one who kicked off the Grandmaster's table, was the first guest that we ever had on. He did a phenomenal job. It was about us talking about the AP Academy that has now come and gone. Congrats, by the way, by joining the APA main roster. How was that like? What was that experience like?
Crazy. And you spoke it into existence because 2 days after we had that podcast and you were like, hey, Panther, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, get us in there. He DM'd me and offered me a spot, which was crazy. It was really, really cool. I didn't expect. That was my end goal when it came to content creation and stuff like that. Not necessarily to make a career out of it or anything like that. I just want to play in cool leagues with cool people. And obviously the AP is a bigger one of those. So that was kind of the end goal when I first started making content. So only a year in, getting that opportunity was nuts. Super great. Yeah,
man, you did great too. And then John, you're also a resident of the AP Academy. How was your season?
Well,
sorry, the AP main roster.
Yeah, okay, Doug. It was okay. It was a really rough ride this season, I'm not gonna lie. As far as the coaches win, the views were down for everybody, and then a lot of coaches lost interest halfway through. There were people that didn't upload, but I'm really hoping next season goes a little bit smoother. I definitely take some part to that. Some of the admins definitely weren't as active as we could have been, and hopefully we do a little bit of a better job next season. But overall, it was a pretty good experience.
How about you, Dye? Since you're a resident, dude. I think that's where I got confused, is because you're a commissioner of the APA Academy, but you're also a coach of the APA main roster. How was your season?
I enjoyed it a lot. I liked Z-Max Corbinite a lot.
Which is the discussion that we had today, right? That was more for. I actually kind of want to get into that a little bit. How was your? I know that you said that you drafted some different stuff that you're not used to. Were you happy with the team that you had, and how was your performance?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I drafted a whole bunch of new mons. I can't remember my roster off the top of my head, but I used Como, which
G-Max, Corby, and 5 mons.
Yeah. I used like Blastoise, which I'm not really good with Blastoise. It just wasn't like I tried to use it offensively too much, and I realized that it's just not as good as everyone hypes it up to be. Like with Shell Smash, sometimes the defensive set is just better. Shit like what else? Shit like G-Max Corviknight was really good. I really want to try standard Corviknight again. I brought the same set every week, and I just changed the EVs. I can't even think what else was on my roster. What else was like a gang? Drapion was fun. I went against 2 G-Max Gengars, and it did really well against it.
Oh, didn't you have Incineroar? Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Let's go ahead and put some spotlight on this. So let's magnify this for just a second. So for those who did not watch this matchup, as we have another guest that is now a resident to the Grandmaster's table, shout out to Kyle A. He was also on the podcast. He faced off with our boy DyeItTight, and he brought himself an Incineroar. If you guys did not catch that matchup, I will actually leave a link down in the description below for you to watch that, because that was epic. He brought an Incineroar set that was not very kind to our boy DyeItTight. How was that like to just basically be powerless? Did you see that coming?
I did not see that coming. I didn't expect to set up Incineroar versus me, but it did really well.
That's the fun stuff that we talk about here on Goons. It's just that whenever something bad happens, you try to make light of it. So it was a bad situation, but it was funny at the same time. So that was a good video. That was awesome. So the new additions here to the Grandmaster's table. Hi, hello, ItzWhateva, Ant, Antonio. How you doing today, my man?
I'm good. I'm doing good.
So you are also a PST resident with us here on the West Coast.
Sir.
What part of California are you from?
From the Bay Area. Whoa. We got some haters over here. From the Bay Area.
They live in Narnia. Let's mute them for just a second. So, Ant, what's your experience like in Draft League in general? I know that you didn't take part in the EPA main roster, but you were with us in the EPA Academy towards the later end of the season. How was your experience?
Oh, dude, I had G-Max Metal, and I hated it. I dropped it for G-Max Dreadnought, and I just had fun with the roster instead of like trying hard. Obviously, I was still trying to win, but like I just had fun with it and enjoyed it so much more.
Yeah, it was a shock to the rest of us that you did that, but it ended up working out better for your playstyle. What did you like about G-Max Dreadnought the most that made you more successful?
First off, it's a really cool shiny. I liked the design. I just never thought it was good in like actual leagues, so I just never like thought of it. But then I saw that the Ganamax doubles the HP, and then I saw that its move gets rocks up, so I don't have to run a rock setter because I'm always gonna click the moves. Go back stuff. Honestly, Andy, you just gotta train it well, and you're good.
There you go. And then Brody, leading off with you next. You started with the AP Academy with us, and then had to take a step back.
Yeah.
How's everything going with you?
I've been better since then. Got myself into Indigo and doing alright with that.
So for those who don't know, the APA also runs a couple different showdown servers and a couple different showdown leagues, like Indigo, Evo, Classic, and those you can get into once you get into the server, once you apply. There's a lot of different leagues that you can get into, a lot of different multi-level heads that you can play in, and then Brody plays in a couple of those. That's what he's referring to. Draft League can be done in multiple different ways and multiple different avenues. The APA is one of the big head honchos in regards to Draft League. So if you guys are interested in getting into Draft League, that's something that you could do. I'll leave a link down in the description for that as well, in case you guys want to dip into that. These guys are great people to learn from. And then last but not least, Star, how are you doing? Welcome, first timer.
Yep, doing pretty good. Thanks for asking. How are you doing?
We're doing good, man. The NCP, we didn't get you in the EPA or the EPA Academy, but the NCP, commissioned by JohnJunior, that is with us here today. How was your NCP season?
Well, I mean, the first part of it was like actually a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun with it. Minimal hacks until a certain point. And so I had a lot of fun with my team, but I kind of learned that I'm not a big fan of Wi-Fi. I'm not a fan of it at all, actually, and so I ended up having to drop. I was on pace to make playoffs, but I decided that for my own sanity, I was going to drop and forfeit my position.
Which is completely understandable. At the end of the day, it's a game that we all want to enjoy, right? And if it's not at that point anymore, then, it's not really worth it. So it's awesome that you did really well. You beat me. So there you go. There's that point. There's one. Shout out to Mandabuzz. So, guys, let's talk about this as a collective unit. I know that there's one of you that's going to spearhead this topic of conversation. How do you guys feel about the mechanic of this generation? So, the Dynamax and Gigant. So I'll let you guys loose. What do you guys
I don't
think?
like the mechanic.
They look cool, yeah. Jay, let's talk about it. Let's talk about what Jay did.
Mechanics. What I did, what we did as a collective.
What you did.
I was so stupid. Oh my gosh. So I helped, me and Jay help run the GDL, which is going to be an upcoming Wi-Fi league going into its second season. That 6 Foot Hacks and Live run, at the main helm of it. And we were voting on whether or not we wanted to do any form of Dynamax, Gigantamax, anything like that. And it's awful. So I said no. It's terrible. And most people agreed with me. I was actually winning the vote. But Jason, because what was your reasoning again, Jay? Why do you want to do it?
Because I'm the greatest to ever do it.
That's not why. You don't why.
Oh, you meant why did I want? Because I want to have fun.
He wants to have fun for the first 3 weeks and then hate himself. So he said he DM'd D-Ray.
Oh boy.
D-Ray and who was it else? In mid, and he said, please change your vote. Please. And then he kissed their feet. And then they changed their vote, and now we have to deal with it all season. And everybody's gonna whine about it by week 4, and I'm gonna say I told you so. And I'm so
Prediction
upset.
is gonna come true.
I'm so
Are you sure it'll take 4 weeks? Probably 2 or 3.
Yeah, I mean, I've given him the benefit of the doubt. It's gonna be so bad. I'm so upset.
I'm ready to have fun.
GDL's gonna be fun this season. Be sure to tune in.
Yeah, so as JohnJunior said, he's the one that basically has spearheaded the entire. Yeah, it'll be fun, but he's the one who I was talking about who's going to spearhead this conversation because he's got the strongest opinion about the Dynamax and Gigantamax mechanic. As he said, the GDL, the Galar Defenders League, is going to be coming pretty soon. That is going to feature myself, OGALBINA, and DyeItTight that is here today. It was a fun conversation to have that vote because a lot of people have those strong opinions about it being overpowered in the draft league community and just the format in general, and some people that just like it because it's the mechanic and we should be using it. Shout out to you, Leo, 6 Foot Hacks. No real reasoning behind it, he just likes it, which is not a bad thing.
We should use it because we should use it. We should use it because we should use it because Pokemon wants us to. That's so dumb, bro.
I really hope Leo's listening to this. You get a good chuckle out of it.
And it's not even like we're just using it. Like there's so many dumb little restrictions that we have to put on this mechanic in order to make it somewhat playable and not like just immensely awful for everybody around. That what's the point in using it? It's so convoluted and dumb, and it makes me upset.
It's gonna be a debate for the rest of the generation. So
steam is coming out of his ears.
Yeah, steam is just blowing out of Owen's ears.
We all wound up.
I'm always wound up.
Really, anyone who just hacks is him, honestly.
I'm ready to go 95% of the time. I'm ready to go.
Some newbies, and so kind of gearing off, changing subjects over to you, my man. What is it that you do for a living outside of Pokemon?
Ooh, your boy's a server at a cheesecake factory.
Ooh, Cheesecake Factory.
Summer just set up.
Cheesecake Factory.
Best.
Nice.
How long have you been doing that?
Well, I've been with the company for 3 years now. Started in like doing the bakery stuff, and I moved my way up to serving. That's fun.
Oh, moving up the ladder, man. That's dope. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through you first, and then we're going to move on to our other two friends that's the first time here on the Grandmaster's table. I will ask you one of the most popular questions that we ask every guest that comes on is if you were to be given one Pokemon, and this doesn't have to be your favorite aesthetically, it doesn't have to be your favorite competitively, whatever it may be, if you were to say there's one Pokemon that is your absolute favorite of all time, what Pokemon would that be?
Ooh. That's rough because like growing up, I like loved Sceptile so much just because like it was like the one of the first like starters that I really liked. Probably not to go with that just because like deep down the kid in me has to say Sceptile.
Nice. Is that mostly because it was your first starter?
No, because my first starter was back in Gen 1. It just I don't know. It just like resonated because it was so cool because he had a stick in his mouth.
Okay.
I was waiting for the rest of the Goons to just come
That was
in.
the worst.
No. It makes the
in his
cool.
mouth. Yeah.
There you go. That's awesome.
Well, it sounds like
It's mouth.
That's
Hey,
awesome. Brody, same question, my man. So Brody,
favorite
same thing in the beginning. So what is it that you do for a living outside of Pokemon?
Currently, I'm just a student in college. I don't currently have a job.
What are you studying?
Engineering.
What is it that you want to do with that? I know that there's so many different avenues you could do with engineering. Do you have a certain plan once you get out of school?
No, honestly, no. I'm
figuring
it out. I got
I'm here.
no fucking
If
clue.
you've ever met Brody's just like here for the ride. Brody's just here for the ride, and
Yeah.
kind of here for it. And
I'll figure it out eventually.
Yeah.
Brody has this. He's got this thing going around with the rest of the Goons that whenever you hear him speak, he's got this velvet, beautiful voice that just overpowers the rest of us, and you have to just take a moment to absorb it to really enjoy it. And
that's what they call it. That's what they call it.
yeah, but only when he can like coherently get all of the words out of his mouth. You can be a smooth radio show talk host and then go in between them.
You have to be
Brody could he would be great.
like
at
feed me the words. I'm good.
And I have this theory too. If Brody was like, a news anchor or a talk show host, he'd be like Ron Burgundy, where he'd read exactly what was on the teleprompter, no matter what. Punctuation wrong. You could say "Go fuck yourself, San Diego," and he'd be like, "Go fuck yourself, San Diego." Exactly what it said on the teleprompter, and he'd smile after, like, "I did it."
Oh yeah, I did it.
That's awesome. Brody, so second question, same thing. If you were to pick one Pokemon, what's your favorite Mon of all time?
Has to be Arcanine. This has always been my favorite mount.
On our teaming.
Is there a certain connection to Arcanine that got you to it?
I don't really remember. It's just I went. I played a lot of Fire Red. I think it came from that.
It is the resident doggo too. It's a great Pokemon. The original legendary Pokemon. That's a good pick. And plus, you could have it in real life, which is really nice.
Yeah.
Nice little pet.
I'd love a little Growlithe as a pet.
There you go. So Star, how you doing?
I'm still doing it.
Getting you kind of lost a little bit. Let's bring it back in. Star is the newest Goon that we brought in as of recently. I think it's been like, what, a month now since you've been in the server?
Something like that. I don't know. Nothing's been the same since I've joined.
So shout out to you, man, because from what I known of you before you came into the server, you were very calm and collective. So I kind of was curious of how you were going to handle yourself when you came in, especially in calls. And kudos to you that you join as many calls as you possibly can. You have blossomed into the main attraction whenever we get into calls. So Starfeesh is a great personality to be around. He's a great friend. Love me some Star. So what is it you do for a living outside of Pokemon?
Well, so I'm just upcoming a senior in high school, and I don't have a job, but I do. My income is actually I tutor people. Yeah, so I do a lot of tutoring, and it pays enough so I can go and spend money on stupid things. So that's pretty good.
Dropping like $90 on Valorant.
Shut up. and stuff I do outside of Mons. I just hang out with people, and then I do a lot of chess and esports. Those are like my 2 big things that I do.
Chess. I did not know that. Maybe I missed that once, but that's cool.
Yeah, I go to like a lot of tournaments. In my freshman year, I actually placed in 9th in state of the entire, like all of Indiana. So that was pretty cool.
I think that solidifies it that if we were to all take an IQ test, I think that you would blow us all out of the water.
I don't act as smart as I am.
I just want to see Brody.
Yeah, Brody would win, dude.
Yeah, I'd definitely win.
You have to kick Star from Goon because nobody smart's allowed to be in the server.
Smart's
We
not
became
allowed.
dumber.
So Star, let's ask you the same question too. What's your favorite Pokemon of all time?
Okay, so growing up, it's always been Lucario. I've always thought the whole like aspect of Lucario was just so cool. Just like the aura, being able to sense auras.
Yeah, dude.
I was like, it's so cool. But then like
I telling you, you're angry.
I got flamed for liking Lucario so much, and as of recently, dude, one of my favorite Pokemon, I don't know if it's my favorite, it might be at this point, is my boy Pineco, dude. Oh, I love Pineco.
No.
Dude,
I really want to know the story behind this. Is there a specific reason? There has to be something tied behind it, right?
Yeah, okay. There is actually.
Like trees. I don't know what you want me to say.
So,
It's a cool tree.
it's not a tree, it's a pine cone, dude. It's the part on the tree.
Let me
sting of
pause
the
you for
tree.
1 second, Star, because Summer obviously doesn't know much about Pokemon if it's past Generation 1, right? So she knew who Arcanine was. She didn't know who Lucario was, so I pulled it up on the computer so she can see, so she sees it.
Was?
Well, he's main staple typically, and so she's like, "Oh, I know." And then you said Pineco, and then she got this look on her face like, "What the hell?" And I put it up in the computer, and then she saw it, and she goes, "What the fuck?" So we need to know the story. We need to know the context. Go for it.
Okay, so I was playing in a little mini game thing where it's like you have a certain amount of balance, like a cash amount, okay, and you buy Pokemon, and whenever the Pokemon gets a kill, it gains revenue pretty much, and then you could sell it and then buy better Pokemon. So that's like the basis of it. And Pineco was free, and I was like, well, that's a Pokemon. It gets a bunch of hazards. I can just set them up and I can just play around with it. And I realized, wow, this thing just doesn't die to physical hits at all. And so I started drafting it. And I've fallen in love with him because he checks so many big Pokemon that people would never think it would check. Like Excadrill, one of the most popular Pokemon, it can check Excadrill, Mega Lopunny, it can check all a bunch of big threats that are physical. So the other day it took 47 from boosted Mega Lopunny, so just saying.
What is it doing to Mega Lopunny though?
47 with base 1
move. But what is it doing to Mega Lopunny?
It clicks Revenge with base. Okay, it clicks Revenge with 82 EVs with a Brave Nature. It does 25%. If it moves second, it does 50%. So it's 2 shots.
Oh, 50%.
50% 2 shots, and Mega Lopunny doesn't even 2 shot.
How does a Pinecone exact revenge on its enemies? I really want to know.
Start just gonna pick them up.
It's got some red eyes, dude. It's angry.
I love how Owen comes in with the logic of it, like, what is it actually gonna do? That's awesome. That's cool. So it's a competitive aspect of it. That's awesome. So now, guys, what I would like to do now is to shift gears over to Twitter, because for those who don't know, and for their first time listening to the Grandmaster's Table, whenever we have our guest, I like to go up on Twitter and then have the people ask a bunch of questions for maybe some things that they haven't known about the guest that's on, or they just want to basically rile up the pot, which is essentially what's about to happen right now, or call you out for a specific thing, or get you to talk about a certain subject. So if you guys aren't following me already, follow me at Grandmaster DRay, and then I will do that for you guys moving forward. The very first question that I have here, reading from the top.
Wait. Before you start, we have to make a couple rules clear. We answer in democracy.
Oh, Jesus. Keep going.
Whoever the loudest is usually the most correct.
No.
That is the law.
Agreeing and then
I don't make the laws here.
I know. I think that's the law. Is that the law? John, is that the law?
That is not the law, and that is.
And is that the law?
I kind of heard that that's the law around here.
Democracy. Let's get it going.
Not have democracy. You can't have
All
one
right,
person.
let's get with question 1.
As we introduce the questions, they haven't even get started yet. This is going to be amazing. So the very first question that we have is by our good buddy at UltraPlayer12. He's going to ask you. So this is going to be a little bit of a fire question, right? To get these guys off the rails. I'm going to read this word for word. One of you is far stinkier than the rest. I won't tell you who. In each of your opinions, we'll go down the line. In each of your opinions, said aloud. Actually, you know what? We'll follow what Josh says first. He says, in each of your opinions, said out loud all at once, who is the stinkier of the group and why? So I'll let you guys say it in 3.
Wait, let me think.
Yeah, I gotta think.
This is a very important question. So we gotta get this right.
It's not
You
gonna
can't just shout.
I know.
Wait,
So
you can
essentially,
get this wrong?
We're gonna say whatever your guys' opinion is.
Right now.
This is gonna open up Pandora's box among ourselves.
Just like the faker. Guess who the faker is?
You literally cannot get this wrong, Rudy.
So,
I'm pretty sure I can, but I don't know.
so I'm gonna do a 5-second countdown. Whatever name you guys want to say out loud to stir this pot is gonna be absolutely accepted, and you guys will just say it all at once. So we'll do this in a 5.
Whoever we hear.
Whoever we hear the most is the winner and the far stinkiest
That's
of
how
them
we
all.
do it.
Here we go. And in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Dude, it's John by far.
What is happening? I showered twice a day.
All I heard is John by far.
I feel so good.
Brushy.
I smell. Okay.
You can't say you're not the one.
All right, hold on. Let me tell you the story of why they're saying that. Okay, so Goon started like a year ago now. Wow, that's crazy. Actually, like a year and a half ago, and one of the first memes was I brushed my teeth like once every 3 days. Okay. Like when the summer, because it was the summer, like I brushed my teeth like once every 3 or 4 days.
I'm glad.
And every time I would join call, they would just scream, brush teeth. And now it has stuck with me. But I brush my teeth every day now. Please leave me alone.
Summer's dying.
I brush my teeth every day and I shower twice a day. Please stop bully Jom.
You can't. I like how you had to preface. You're like, it was during the summer though, so it's
Yeah, it was during the summer. It's acceptable during the summer because like I didn't have anything to do. Where was I going? Who was I impressing?
Oh, you're not going to school, Mama? You can impress Mama?
Grandma, dude.
Yeah, I'm impressing Mama. Okay, let's not even talk about Mama on this podcast. Next topic.
So I'm gonna put this in context because I think it does deserve the respect because of John's grandma. There's an ongoing joke that we all love John's grandma, and so whenever there was like a what can I refer this to? Like if you were to say like your mom, like your mom joke, like we all love your mom, that's Mama for the Goons. So shout out to John Jr.'s grandmother for being the great sport that Mama is the center of all jokes.
Jason has her number and calls her frequently. And
She looks like
Never gonna love you, but it's alright. She said you're a mama. I said she's an animal. We just
How did Jay get a Mama's number?
I gave it to her because I didn't have service at school, so I needed somebody to text her to be like, school's over. This was like the beginning of my senior year. I was like, I need someone to text her to say school's over, and Jason was the one, unfortunately.
And now they have a budding beauty.
He did call her on his birthday. This is true. She really appreciated that. But also, all the Goons said happy birthday to Mama, so I'm just saying.
Yeah, but who called her and listened to her?
If I had her number, I would have called her.
Who got to talk to her while she was mid-birthday suit?
Please don't say that about
There's the
Mama.
Jay we all know.
So there you go, guys. That's the context behind that one. And so going on to the next question that we have here on Twitter is it's fun. I'm gonna say this question just.
the winner was.
Oh, the winner?
Yeah.
Oh, it's John. I figured that was a given.
No.
John's the sneakiest
Were we
Goon.
doing a giveaway? I was like, who the fuck won the giveaway?
Yeah, it's some toothpaste and a toothbrush.
Yeah, there you go.
So if you guys have listened to the podcast and try to follow this train wreck as best you possibly can, leave a toothbrush emoji down in the comment section below.
No, what is happening, dude? All this John slander. I brushed my teeth.
Anyone's following this podcast.
So this next question that we have is just to show the respect for Sock, because I feel like these guys would have fun with this question. At ItzSock, he asks, how many of you does it take to screw in a light bulb?
7.
I don't know if we have enough goons to
Yeah,
screw
let's
up.
go!
Wait a minute. We have to share a brain cell, so.
7. Yeah, we do. And
None
Brody
of us
keeps
are tall either.
Hey, I can reach all my tippy toes. I don't even need a ladder. It's fine.
It depends who yells "It's my turn" with the brain cell the loudest.
With Brody, he drops it immediately, and we can't find it because there's no light bulb.
No, honestly, we need Gene to screw in a light bulb. I'm gonna be honest.
Oh, Gene.
love Gene.
It'll take all of us as a collective to do it.
I don't think
There
we
you
have
go.
enough. Actually,
One at a time. That's awesome.
Yeah, not enough good.
Not enough goons to screw the light bulb.
We can do this together.
So now that we have the crown of the stinkiest goon, we have another
No.
question on here that is asked by @Olivia Sama. Shout out to you. She asks, "Who is the brains of the goons?"
No one.
And then I'll give you guys a little bit of time to think of that over. I'm gonna do the same
we have a
5-second
5
count, and I'll let you guys say that
Yeah,
out
5
loud.
seconds.
And
Okay. I actually.
5 seconds.
and then we'll go into
That's
we'll go
not
into the reasoning
Yeah,
behind it right
sure.
after. But I'd like to see what you guys think. I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys shout it out in the next 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
John.
None of
Nathan.
us.
Nathan, are you kidding me?
Ryan, no.
Oh, no, I thought actually. Okay. I thought about this.
Wait. So what's this mean? Like the brain's like the smartest goon, or like the way who like I don't know.
Olivia didn't really leave much. She just said smartest.
I
No,
think
there
we'll
wasn't
put
too much
a-
context.
I think like the brains of the wait. Who is the brains?
The
of-
mastermind
Yeah.
behind it.
Probably
Yeah,
the
Shadow Leader.
mastermind. When I read
Shadow
it, I
Leader.
thought it like
Oh, I own the
mastermind.
server.
It doesn't matter. I run things. I run things.
You're not the shadow leader. Get out of here.
Really? You talking? You're gonna get kicked. I run
Yeah,
things.
I think
gonna
in
say-
context,
Yeah,
from what
but-
I think that she's talking about is, let's say that if you were to pick one person out of the group to be the representative of the Goon Docks, who would it be?
Wait. Representing in a good way or a bad way?
In any way.
Representing it.
John or Jay, pretty much.
In
John or Jay.
all that is goons is Jay. I cannot
Yeah.
lie.
Yeah.
There we go. That's exactly what I
But
was thinking.
like, if someone needs to do like a good example, it'd be
It's me.
John.
It's my
Yeah.
John, yeah.
Yeah.
Put John in the public, but like if someone's like, hey, who's really the
If
most
we need to
goon?
rob somebody in an alley, it's Jay.
Dude, that's what's crazy too. Like mine and Jay's
You
like
need a kidney?
like how like
kidding me?
like
You need a
how we
kidney?
act is so
Jay's got an
different.
extra one, but it's not his.
So now that John has the title of Toothbrush Stinky, then we'll give the brains to DyeItTight. So there you go. There's the brains of the
Well,
operation.
I've never
What is
thought that,
happening?
dude.
I thought I would never hear that.
Dude, I thought CNN was getting Connecticut. We've grown a lot in these past months.
He's made it. He's made it. And so this
Made
is
it,
going to be
Jay.
a pretty fun one.
We have our one
So-
brain cell.
So this question is actually going to be quite interesting because I know this has been an ongoing fun thing that this specific person does with us because he has gotten pretty lucky whenever it comes to facing us as a collective unit on any draft league. At Slick Panther,
Goon Slayer?
Panther Slick, he
Yes,
is going
sir.
to ask,
If he
why
asks
is
what I think
Slick,
he is, he's getting us swift to the job.
at Slick Panther, he asks, why is Slick Panther just better at Mons than all goons? So we'll hear from Owen on this one. OGALBINA, go ahead and give
I
us an
think you
answer on
should
this one.
direct your attention to this Monday in NCP Week 3 when I Slick. I don't know. That's all I gotta say. I don't know.
I've
Very
never lost
Slick.
this.
Yeah, but you haven't faced him as a goon. For those that don't know that way he was going on at all, Slick is notorious for getting very lucky against goons. Like it's crazy how many of us he's beat.
I think
it's
he's
crazy how many
won
of us
his
beat.
last 7 games versus goons.
Yeah.
Except for this Monday, I just beat him. Why is nobody talking about how good I am?
The only person who's better against goons is Kurt the Buzzwole.
He is a goon.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's the best against goons.
That's true.
No, he's not. That's Slick.
Who beat you?
Slick?
A lot of people,
Yo, but
but,
who beat you in that Ubers league?
I can't hear anything. I don't know what you're talking about.
But for context, guys, Slick Panther is a friend of ours that isn't in the server at the moment, but he has had the best of luck against each and every one of us. He owns at least one win out of every person that is in the podcast and every person that is in the server. So shout out to you, Slick Panther, for your awesome skills / luck / whatever voodoo power that you tap into whenever you face one of the goons. So there you have it.
never beat Rhino.
I don't think he beat
Not
Star.
right now.
Have I played Slick?
Never beat Gene.
I have no idea.
I know he has enough fresh rhymes to beat G.
Hey, Brody, he hasn't played you, but I'm gonna be real. In like a theoretical game, I mean,
to be fair, I am in Indigo, so
Brody, you thought Stunfisk.
Hey, no, Jay, no, bad.
Shut up, King.
He's got Voltazor.
Not my brightest moment. Let's say that. While lettering at 4 a.m., not my brightest moment. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna use Earthquake to break the air balloon. Wait a minute.
That one.
So
the next what to break the air balloon?
Earthquake.
I realized as soon as I clicked it, but it was too late.
Goons assemble. Guys, so the next question that we have here, I'm actually going to direct this to 4 of you specifically because I want to get you guys a little bit more involved. And I'm curious to see how you guys will answer this. So at Leo, at 6foothacks, he asked us a multiple part question. I'm going to direct the first part of this question to Star, I'll have you answer this first question. He asks, because I think that you would have the best answer, who are the doms and the subs when y'all are together?
Oh, okay. Well, first of all...
Wow.
Hold on a minute. I ain't got my fan. It's getting a little hot in here.
I love that he gets incredibly nervous when I ask him that.
Of the people in this call, alright? The doms... Alright, yeah, we're just gonna start with the doms. Jay's a dom.
Really?
Okay. Obunga.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah. And Ants. Definitely. And then, depends on what day of the week. Maybe be me, but everybody else is a sub, including D-Ray.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I can say that.
Summer.
I want to know how I got the dom position, but whoa!
Because you're the loudest.
Okay, you literally like overpower everybody in voice chat.
You just don't shut up. And then the reason Obunga is because if somebody just like whispers, he's like, "Oh my god!" It's crazy.
I will eat your firstborn if you keep talking to this. Oh god.
That's epic. Epic. And then the next part of this question that we have here is directed to Ant. So, Ant, the next part of Leo's question, he asks, why Obstagoon and not Zigzagoon? When is that more fitting? Or if it's more fitting. So, in your opinion, do you think that we should have done Zigzagoon over Obstagoon?
You talking to?
My
mic goes out.
You ever try to turn on your camera so you can dance for the boys and it just doesn't work?
Jake keeps on leaving and joining, so it stops my mic for the next like 10 seconds. Is it Obstagoon and Zigzagoon? Is that what the question was?
Yeah, so why do you think that we picked Obstagoon over Zigzagoon?
Oh, I think it was just because like it was like when that first came out, like Obstagoon was the thing, and so everyone was for that.
It literally says Goon.
Yeah.
There you go.
We're like, oh, dude,
Stop,
Goon.
Oh, please stop that.
I mean, 2 people both say Goon in their names.
Oh, Zigzag.
Yeah, but like Obstagoon is.
Yeah. I was just rebutting what Jay said.
And then, there you go, Leo. That was an amazing question, my man. And then I really am excited to listen to this answer from Brody. Brody, you get the next part of this question.
No, I don't want this.
There's really only one answer.
There is really only one answer.
Who would win in a fight to the death out of all of us on the server?
Yeah, I know this.
There better be one clear answer here, bro.
Yeah.
Well, no. There should be a clear answer, but if we're excluding the
out of everyone
answer.
in here,
Yeah.
In Goons in general.
and Goons in general, or just in this call?
Goon.
First off, we're
It doesn't
excluding
matter.
Goon.
The winner's already in call, Brody.
John is probably the strongest Goon.
Oh my god!
I think Jay could get it.
All questions Brody messed up.
You completely ignore D-Ray, dude.
Yeah,
The actual god in San Diego over there.
I won.
What?
D-Ray is not losing.
I'm over D-Ray? What the fuck is happening?
We're gonna beat everybody's ass.
To be fair, I don't. I didn't know that.
What do you think this power tool that he drills his desk with?
Bro, I feel like D-Ray would be too nice to kick our asses, and I'm the second strongest goon.
No.
You'd be surprised.
Look
You'd
at
be
how
surprised.
mining.
That means like we're threatening his children or something. He's gonna murder us all.
Dude, think about how mining was said. Mining is said.
Yeah, Jason doesn't have
Summer,
shoulders.
what
He's not in the conversation.
I'm just saying
Dude, I
Jason
really
loud.
think
I think you'd do
Why
something.
isn't he
a lot better
loud
than
the answer to
John would.
every question? Literally being loud has been the answer to every question that has been asked.
You're pretty
Who would-
loud. So.
Who would screw
Stop
in the
being so
light bulb?
fucking
Well,
loud.
Jay's loud, so like, fuck it.
That's how you get the brain cell, though, Jay.
Summer, what were you saying?
Again, like, can we
Nah,
use like
they thought
you know
you'd be
weapons? Is
too
there,
nice
do
to
we all
fight.
get to bring our own weapons?
Nah, bro, it's this fight.
Can I use my Can I use my
Can I
fat
be-
cock, or do I have to leave that?
Hey, you have to check that in at the door,
Yo,
dude.
how hard do I go in? Am I a half
zombie,
chop or am I
Zombie's going out
full
of it.
mass?
Well, Jay, you're with the boys, so what do you think the answer is?
Oh, I'm wrestling with the boys, dude. I'm full.
Anything, you're expanded.
Wait, no, guys, we forgot Zombie, dude. He just luck us out, dude. He get lucky as fucking still win.
Zombie is a real person.
Is he even real?
So, sorry guys. Well, Summer, what were you gonna say?
Dude.
Oh no, I was saying that you guys are saying how Daniel's all nice and like he would be too nice
Oh,
to
don't
fight,
expose me now.
but you guys don't really know him. You guys don't know. Oh my,
full.
he
I
has
told
gotten
you.
in so many fights, so many
Granted, we do
fights.
see him when he comes back with like white paws, and
Yo,
he's just so happy.
Yo, Summer's like, I have to walk with a limp every day. Yo, Summer really said y'all thought Austin was bad?
No, Jason, no.
Oh,
Next question.
Next question.
Yeah, move on.
Okay.
All right, so
Did someone smell that fridge burning?
I'm gonna direct this question to John because I feel like I'd get the most entertaining answer from John. The last part of Leo's question is gonna be: would you rather take on a horse-sized duck or 10 duck-sized horses?
Well, ducklet's pretty intimidating, so I wouldn't want to fight a horse-sized ducklet. So I would fight 10 duck-sized horses.
What Pokemon would the horses be?
Ponyta. I'd rather step on 10 Ponyta than have to fight a big
Why
ducklet.
is- I want to know why a duck is so intimidating to you.
Look, show her a picture of Ducklet right now. That is a very intimidating Pokemon. That is young Eugene, and you would treat him with some damn respect.
Yo, you better start treating him with respect before we get D-rated to lay down the fucking hammer again. Goddamn.
Oh my god.
Before D-Ray starts cracking knuckles.
Oh my goodness gracious! All right.
Oh,
So
Jay.
so on this next question that we have here on Twitter is gonna be from a good buddy at InVividColor. He submitted a question, and this is more directed towards DyeItTight. Jason, go ahead and answer this one. He asks you directly because he even tagged you. He said, "Upload a stand-up comedy when?" Because we all know that you are a comedian. Are you looking to moving into that kind of content? Because I'm sure all of us are waiting in anticipation.
So I actually talked to Owen about this the other day, and someone
Okay.
Ann as well. Yeah, Ann as well.
Yeah, okay.
So I'm good at making people laugh. That's kind of been the thing, but I don't have like punchline comedy yet. Like I write stuff in my joke book, but like there's nothing like I made you guys laugh because like you guys said something and I yelled something stupid. I can't just talk and then yell something stupid at myself. And I feel
I
like
bet you could, Jay. I bet you
like-
could.
Like I feel like I would be that type of stand-up comedian that like talks to the audience and just makes fun of them for literally 2 hours. But I don't know, I haven't I've been writing down jokes, but I haven't been confident enough in the jokes that I've been writing to do like a video on it.
So it's coming in the works, but we're just gonna have
It
to
is
wait
in
a
the
little
works.
bit longer.
Yeah, I have been writing down jokes. Actually, Amber
Hey.
got me an early birthday present. Since she knows I love My Hero Academia, she got me like Deku's journal, so I could write down more jokes. And since mine's getting
That's
old,
lit. Juan.
That's cool.
That's really cool. So we'll be waiting in anticipation for that, for the stand-up of DyeItTight in this debut. So this
year,
question
please.
is going to be, there's one more question that I want to kind of end this off with, but before we get that massive question in, I'm going to go back to the top because Summer just pointed out that I missed the very first question that was on here, and I'm going to direct this straight to Owen because Owen hasn't had a question directed to him just yet, and I feel like this would be really, really funny. So at Ultra Player, the very first question that he asks us, and this is going to be a game show competition, Owen, so the pressure's on. He asks us, how many words do you know that rhyme with master? And then we will give you a time limit, so we're going to give you 30 seconds on the clock. And
that's too much time. There's gonna be so much.
That's very true. Let's do.
You got me for like 5 seconds. So let's
give you 10 seconds.
10 seconds.
Oh, and Sam's super slow.
Let's do 10 seconds. So let me pull up the stopwatch real quick, and we'll put 10 seconds on the clock. We're gonna see how many you can get that rhyme with master. We're gonna get started.
Wait. Can we let Brody do it first?
No.
My answer is Brody.
Please,
my answer is Brody.
Nah.
Please.
No.
I nominate Brody.
I will give you.
I feel as though if Brody had the chance to do it, it'd just be 10 seconds of
Exactly.
How do you spell master?
Master?
hey, this isn't a spelling.
Spelling
like Grandmaster.
So, here we go.
It comes after master.
So, Owen, we're gonna put 10 seconds on the clock. We're gonna get you going in 3, 2, 1, go.
Faster, blaster, pastor. Fuck.
That doesn't work.
Blaster's not a word. Damn, dude.
That's a word.
So there you go. If IQ could be tested in this manner, there you have it. That's awesome.
Molaster.
I'm sure that Josh got a big kick out of that one. Well, there you go. See, Stars got you.
You got disaster, molaster.
Molaster? What the fuck's a molaster? It's molester and him trying to stretch it really hard. Wait, okay, does anybody else know why he asked that?
Yeah, it's because of mid.
Yeah, because of mid. Yeah, he's just trying to make the different mid names.
Because of what?
Dude, that was a great. Oh my god.
There's a picture of our buddy Mid on the plastic body, and it's a bastard.
So I'm gonna make this. I'm gonna have each and every one of you guys answer this question, and I'll let you guys explain your reasoning why, because I feel like this would be an entertaining question. It'll be the last question that we go through. This question is asked by @Platinum Howler, and the first person to answer this question is gonna be Brody. Odds. I'll let you answer first, and I'll give you reasoning why after. So his question is, which one of you is more likely to get married first?
Wait, can I ask a question?
Probably not me.
Married together or married to another person? like which goons are going to get married?
Answer's still the same.
Oh my god.
I think married in general, Jay.
Married in general. So Brody, what's your answer and then why, just for the heck of it?
Who will be married first? Out of all of us?
Why is it Jay?
Because
he's loud. Because he's loud. Because I'm loud.
I have no idea, but I have.
Phone a friend. This is my answer.
Phone a friend. Owen.
Okay.
Owen.
I think it's Jay because he's the
There was
biggest
literally so many names he could have said.
It's Jay because he serves a bunch of virgins, and then everyone who's not a virgin is married.
Oh my god! No, it's Jay because he's the biggest simp of all time.
Yeah, Kurt and Mid are right there. Folder.
Wait, why Mid? Why are you thinking Mid right now? Mid's what?
He's been trying to get out the best, the best mate or whatever.
Okay. So we have Brody that gives us the answer. His is Jay, and then Owen's answer is who?
It's Jay because he's the biggest simp of all time. Don't want to say it's Mid or Kurt or anything like that. Every single night he's like, all right, I have to go and FaceTime Amber before bed. I'll see you guys later.
That sounds about right.
Like that.
So that's
every night before bed. Stop making fun of me.
Sometimes you don't watch this, so I can't say too much. But if I say it really fast, sometimes she goes to bed and I can sneak back on.
I can sneak back
on.
John, how about you? What do you think?
Let's tell Amber that he sneaks back on.
Well, my answer is Jay because he's alive.
Yeah.
My answer is actually Jason. Okay, so Jason's obviously my best friend. He's the person I talk to the most. But days he's with Amber, I can tell when he's with Amber and when he's not. Because when he's with Amber, I'll get 2 text messages a day. When he's not with Amber, I'll get 5 missed FaceTime calls, 7 missed texts, 3 Discord messages. I'll just be like, you're not with Amber, are you? He'll be like, no, ha ha ha.
There you go. All right, so obviously this is going to be a unanimous answer. So this is going to be a very uncomfortable question, Jay. If you don't have to answer this if you don't want to. Is this something that is in the works pretty soon? We all know that Amber is listening to the
Pretty
podcast.
soon. I don't know if pretty soon, but like it's like in the like.
No works.
As long as the pussy's still fresh, it's like in the works.
I'm
Oh,
done.
I got a sleeper.
That is
Actually.
such a Jay answer.
He said
such
that,
a
but then,
ladies'
like, no. Everybody stop. He said that, but then 5 seconds ago he said, sometimes she lets me go on after bed. Like,
That's so true.
Gotta make
That
up
is so
for
true.
it.
I'm so happy that you pointed that out.
I'm tough.
To give it a buck, to give it a buck, I've gone through this thing where since my junior year of high school, I've dated a girl for a year, found a different girl, left girl, and dated the next girl for a year, and it's just kind of been like an endless cycle. But I can like see myself longer than a year. Like I don't see myself getting bored. Like
Lord. Oh my
you're all bored. What do you want from me, boy? This is real things.
So we're going to take a moment to let Summer lay the wisdom on us real quick to get a woman's perspective on what exactly it takes for a guy to be ready for marriage. Go
Don't
ahead
put me
and...
on the spot. Jeez Louise.
So what's it like to be married to me?
Oh no. Why are you putting me on the spot? I'm just here to sit and laugh.
Wait, can we ask you guys questions?
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
For it.
Okay. This is for Summer first. Who's the reacher and who's the settler?
Who's the reacher?
Elaborate.
Never heard of that term before?
Like who is like who is the reacher to like get the pretty guy or girl, and who is the settler that like went for like this thing
Down.
Like,
If it was on a ranking system, like who reached up and who reached down, or like settled down.
Okay.
I'm nervous for you to answer this question.
You better answer.
Well, okay, you have to understand. Back when we first met, Daniel was a lead personal trainer. He had a bunch of clients. He was in the gym 24/7. He is a massive human. Like he's 6'3". He's huge. So he was this big muscular guy. So in the beginning, I felt like he was the one reaching, but he says otherwise. And I don't
Just
know
hyped him up and then said that he was the one reaching.
I know.
and then now it's the other way around.
D-Ray literally worked. His body was at a masterpiece. Yeah, he reached for me. Yeah, what?
Yeah, he was a Greek god at the age of 19. We got lucky.
So just to kind of put this out in context, because I actually don't think that we've talked about this before, but just to kind of elaborate what she was saying is that back when we first met, you were 19 and I was 23,
19,
24?
Yeah. You were 23.
And my life was basically that gym. So I taught 12 classes a week. I had about 8 or 9 clients a week, and most of them trained 4 or 5 times a week. And I was basically in the gym every single day, working out twice a day. I'm not gonna front. I looked really, really good. I liked myself in the mirror. And I was kind of hot shit. I let that emulate, and I was very confident. I would talk to whoever I wanted, and I quote unquote took advantage of whoever I wanted, if whoever would allow me to. And Summer actually came into the gym. So the gym that I used to work at used to be called Choose Fitness. It's here in Escondido. It's in San Diego. And she came into the gym, and the first time I saw her, it was phenomenal. And she knows this. I was very honest with her. I had zero interest in dating her. I only had one thing in mind. It was to get her back to my apartment and never speak to her again. I didn't. She got pregnant. I had zero interest in actually dating either. I really was not. Yeah, Summer is, for those who haven't seen, Summer's a gorgeous woman, but back in the day she was very tiny, she was very petite, and then her butt was very massive. And so that's what really that's what really attracted me to her. And so essentially the story came to this, and I saw her and I wanted to talk to her, and I got close to her, and then when I got within talking distance, she gave me the most resting bitch face look ever, and I was so turned off by it, and I said forget this. And then one day we just intersected in the gym. I talked to her, we did that thing, and then we ended up dating.
I
have a even bigger question.
We did that thing, and then he fell in love.
I have the biggest question of the entire series of podcasts.
I love you first,
Go
bro.
Did y'all fuck in the gym?
Oh no, no.
We thought about it. We thought about it. If any of my ex-coworkers are listening to this podcast, I actually did not think about that. I'm sorry, I did not abuse those keys. No, we did not. But we had our fun back in the day.
Yeah.
It was me being very egotistic and being able to get whoever I wanted, and I'll say that. And Summer kind of putting that to a halt, and now I'm married, so that's what happened. Yay! That was a good time.
Shit.
Big egos just carry.
They do. I'll let you guys have the floor. Do you guys have any other questions for us? Because that was actually a really good question.
Everyone's
Hey,
like,
wait.
I wish you're prepared now.
Jay's domain. He can take it away.
I wish I could remember some questions now. Hikey.
What'd you say?
Okay,
Who's your guys' favorite kid?
No, okay. They're my favorite in different moments. So if one's really like on my nerves, then obviously the other one's my favorite. But it changes on different days who my favorite
I
is.
feel like you can totally hold that over their head, like, and make it like a power struggle to where they're both like fighting for affection at all times. Because they're always. I feel like that's a phenomenal parenting strategy, and
Yes.
Not normal
and
parenting?
years and years of therapy afterwards.
Dude,
Bro, like every month you throw them in a cage and make them fight.
How long have y'all been together for?
One time when I used to babysit my little brother, I put him in a dog crate because he wouldn't eat his lunch. And it pissed him off.
So we've been together in November. It'll be 6 years.
6 years.
6 years in November,
been a
and
long
married
time.
for 4 in August.
And that was huge for me because before the girlfriend before Summer, I was with her for like a year and a half, but the like bunch in between was no more than like a couple weeks. So that was a big culture shock. So I'm very proud of myself for being with this relationship for 6 years. Shout out to you, Summer, for locking it down. But guys, thank you guys so much for joining us today. The floor is yours. So I'm gonna go one at a time. Oh, and do you have anything coming in the works pretty soon that you want to plug?
I guess I'm gonna be playing in GDO and BBR. I just make Pokemon videos online for fun. That's about it. I got a couple, leagues coming up and stuff like that, so it should be a good time.
And then John, what's going on in the works? I know that you just posted an update video today. Is there anything that we can expect from you in the near future?
Nah, I'm done with YouTube. Basically, I make art. Give me money and I make you logo.
Give money, make logo.
You're speaking like a goon. I mean,
In 3-word sentences, that's not a good thing.
yeah, she got grammar.
I know, she forgot grammar. But guys, in all seriousness, JohnJunior does do really great graphic artist stuff. So he does really good not effects. He does really good logos, like he says. So if you guys are looking for an update on your draft team, or if you guys an update on your channel, what do you specialize in specifically like to work on the most?
Logos. I've actually stepped back from like most other stuff because like I don't really like how my layouts usually turn out, but I really like my logos, so I'm trying to like step that up, do like a logo a day, or at least work on one a day, and get really good at that. And actually Brody taught me, by the way, so
Nice.
That's awesome. So if you guys would like to get an updated logo, definitely hit him up. I'll leave a link down in the description for his stuff. Please do so, because this stuff is awesome. And how about you? Anything coming in the works?
I'm just slow and steady until upload ready. Like it's, I'm still late on a few leagues, to be honest with you. But yeah, nothing in the works. I'm just mainly focusing on classic.
Awesome. And then Brody, OddsAre, the infamous voice. What can we expect from you coming shortly?
For basic, sometime recently, I want to start up my channel again. And other than that, I am doing a little bit of graphics like John.
Yeah, okay. So we're just gonna steal my answer. That's what we're doing.
My bad. You gave me a client, and now I want to do more logos. My bad.
So both John and Odds both do logos, so make sure you guys hit them up if you guys want to get that revamp. They're extremely talented. If you haven't seen their stuff, I'll leave a link down so you guys can check that out. Star, how about you, my man? What's going on with you? Anything new coming pretty soon?
So I'm an original person, so I'm going to give a different answer. So I'm going to be starting up my YouTube channel again, and I'm getting into graphics.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, no, but seriously, I am getting into graphics now. I'm learning from these two guys. It's really hard. But yeah, I'm getting into that. And for my YouTube, I think I'm going to take a step back from Pokemon and actually do like Valorant stuff and anything but Pokemon, so I can sleep at night. At all. Without crying myself to sleep.
Can I plug my art now? I feel like it's a thing.
No.
I feel like
Owen coming in and slipping in with the plug.
Show
How
him
about
the
you,
dirty
Don?
learn.
Jason, do you have anything coming up pretty soon? I know that you have been kind of revamping your stuff pretty soon. Do you have anything coming?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I got BBR, GDL, and then I eventually want to try a stand-up video. So that,
Cool.
Do you normally sit down?
Nah.
I think Star should be the stand-up comedian because that was hilarious.
Oh my god, guys, if you guys enjoyed this episode of the Grandmaster's Table, do me a massive favor and leave a like to show your support. It's been I'm not sure how this is going to come out in post-production. I'm not sure how clear everybody's going to sound. It's been somewhat of a train wreck, but it's a beautiful train wreck. It was a really good time. Thank you guys so much for coming out today. It really does mean a lot to me, and a lot to Summer. Summer, do you have anything else that you want to say before we go?
No, my stomach hurts from laughing so hard, and I probably snorted like 4 times, which is high praise for laughter. I snore only when something is really funny.
Farted or snorted? It like cut out and I heard
It might have been like maybe snarted both at once.
Yo, what if you said like, yo, I'm gonna rip
She's
his
done.
mean
She's
ass.
dead.
I'm just laying it out. Sorry, Daniel.
She's gone.
Come on.
Welcome to the Goon.
Welcome to Goon Docks, guys. So again, thank you guys so much for joining us on this episode of the Grandmaster's Table. We're gonna get the heck up out of here. Have a great rest of your night, and above all else, be nice. Peace.
Keep it shady.
Bye.
I feel like